Okay. No stalling today. I got my notification, so no need to stall today. Welcome to another episode of the Troy Graham Experience, the Daddies Lounge edition, episode 35, which I left off the thumbnail, but it's episode 35. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Yesterday didn't count as Daddy's Lounge. That was my tribute to Mike McCollum. One of the shows I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some more. But yeah, I didn't count it. So, how's everybody doing? How's it going? I'm here today, ready to go, but I'm not taking off just yet. I always have to go backwards or go forwards to tell a story and do something before I start. I can't just jump into it. I wanted to say something else right there, but this is a daddy. This is a father show. I'm not like Dub say the father show. Dub Right Side is another podcaster who always talks about my show on his show, so I'm gonna shout him out. He calls it the father show. Not Daddy's Lounge, but that's still big enough for that. So yeah, but look, the title of the show was it's not the problem is not what's within you. I should just do a series called Mindset because I'm growing. The more I'm doing this, the more I'm reading, the more I'm getting out. I'm growing. So I'm starting to understand when you're young and you set your mind to something, night and day, day and night, you never let go of it. Even if your family don't get it, you even if you get hurt or you fail a couple of times, guess what? You get back up. That are driven by a spirit that just engulfs their soul. It's just nothing stops you because of that mindset that says this is not what you want to do, it's what you're meant to do. It's a desire. Like when I was on vacation, well, a couple of many years ago, I had to go on vacation with the state of some state I lived in, state of Maryland. So basically, I was in there. I didn't want my mind to get trapped in there, so I would get a piece of paper in the middle, and I would put my needs and my wants. Right. So on one side, it would be like, I want to go home. Okay, that's a want. And then the other side would be a need. I need to tell my mind that I am not hungry, so I don't get hungry in here. I need to I need to stand up strong so they don't see how weak I am without my heart medicine. I need to never let behind me. Stuff like that, right? That was a part of it. Now on the want side, it was more or less, I want to go home to my children. I want to go home to my house. I want to get the hell up out of here. And number one on the need side, I need not to let these walls close in, and I need to not live in the not let the understand, meaning that I can't I can't allow myself to become a prisoner in here. I'm a prisoner in there physically, but what I mean is mentally, spiritually. I can't allow me to lose me in there and become some ridiculous monster that I can't pull out from when I come outside. I mean, if I had to defend myself, I was ready for that, but it had to be a way that I couldn't become that monster and not let go of who I am. So luckily, I didn't stay out right. So that was a blessing. Yeah. So it all boils down to what I'm gonna uh, talk about today. or I like to say attempt to talk about, but I'm not attempting because I turned it on, so I'm here, so I'm going to talk about it, right? A lot of times we say, we look for problems outside of ourselves to quit. Some of us will get involved in this situation here. Child making, that's the fun part. We all like to do that part, right? Child raising, not so much fun. Not so much fun, but it's foundation building though. So that's where the fun is, even though foundation is not spelled FUN. But anyway, you get my point. Somehow you could make the word fun in foundation. Let's continue on. So a lot of times we get this thing off when they're crying and you gotta constantly buy Pampers. You gotta get up for work the next morning, and you really ain't getting no sleep because you know they were crying. Your child or your children, let's say if you had twins, they were crying, or if you had them stair step, as they say, close in age, 60 months apart, 30 months apart, they were just crying all night. Having, they're too young for you to get on the schedule, and they poop all time of the night and all that, and you got to keep their crib right next to you. You know, your wife is poking you like, "Hey, you don't hear that child crying?" I certainly do. Get your ass up. But no, I usually got up. Yeah, I usually got up and I took care of business. And I had to just, and then I would have to get up, and I was working them jobs, man. Well, that's not entirely true. At that time, I was a contractor, so I had a cleaning company. I started it with two of the brothers, but they bounced. So every contract I got was left for me to do. Right, school by myself. Uh, and I had three banks. All those what used to be what is now Shoppers was called something else, Metro or whatever it was called. I had three Shoppers with I had those banks that was located in three different Shoppers. Uh, all of them were in the basically two were in two different two were in the county, right, and one was in the city. So that's how I made my money from helping. Yeah, 'cause she couldn't work at the time, so that's how I was paying the bills with my contracts. And then when the contracts ran out, uh, well, they didn't actually run out. The big one that I had that was sustaining us, I was like 3,000 a month, right? The other three was like another 800. So that was about 3,800 a month or something like that. I was bringing in or something like that, right? Uh, just rounded up to four. Yeah. So when I lost the big one, I had to go home and tell this lady I was married to and these two kids, your daddy lost a big contract. I just got 800 coming in. Our rent was 1,100 at the time. This was in the 90s. In the 90s, $1,100 for rent. Anyway, so I had to go out and get a job. So I did just that. I walked down the steps, made a right, walked a few feet, went to the raw farms, got the graveyard shift. I said, cool. Then I could get a daytime job. The graveyard shift still allowed me to clean the banks, right? 'Cause I had until such and such time to clean the banks before they open up. So I would leave raw farms, hurry up and go clean the three banks. Bad thing is one of them was not at a Shoppers. I'm incorrect. One of them was at a main office. So that's the one I cleaned. And then the other two were at Shoppers. And I still had the 800 coming in plus whatever I made from Raw Farms. Then I did a senior center. I did that like 5 days a week. And then they had me Sunday. I was the Sunday guy. I rarely got off a Sunday. So that made up somewhat for the 3,000 I lost. not all the way, but it was enough to sustain us till she could go back to work. And it's been times where I would just not want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get out of bed. Yeah, excuse me, I'm gonna blow my nose out. Yeah, but there was times where I was like, man, before I should just. I never thought about leaving, but if I did, that would be the time. That's the time. Okay, I can't sing that song and talk about the kids, but yeah, if it was ever a time to run, that would be the time because it was heavy and it was hard. I mean, I'm, I'm doing these contracts with cleaning. I'm work driving for a senior center. And this place stayed open 24 hours. That was before they would close the doors and talk to you through the little slot. You'd have to come to the side window. Now the doors stayed open 24 hours a day. So I saw a lot of freaky things in that Royal Farms at night, especially where it was located. A lot of freaky stuff. And I wanted to just walk away so bad. Then I saw this gas station was hiring in the area, if y'all know Baltimore, called Park Heights. I did not want to work in Park Heights. I did not. Management, $25 an hour back then. I said, I'm going for it. And they actually hired me. They called me for an interview. They didn't hire me. Let me not lie. They called me in for an interview and basically told me if I wanted a job, it was mine. So I was like, cool. I was about to quit all them. I was about to quit the Raw Farms gig and just do my contracts and drive because that was easy. And then my wife was like, something telling me you should wait before you take that job. Okay, this is what happened. That week, the manager who leave out and I was gonna take his the gas station got robbed. Right up there on Rogers and Garrison, I think it was. Gas station got robbed and the brother got shot in the head point blank. She was like, you're not taking that job. Like, you don't have to tell me I'm not taking it. I didn't take it. See? Outside problems. Those are the outside problems right there. Always having to find a way to make these ends meet, right? I had no time to cry. Didn't have. I had to make ends meet. The ends were not meeting. There's living and there's surviving. We were surviving. And I was the man guiding the ship. I was the general. I was the admiral, you know? So I had to do it. I couldn't come home and be like, look, I ain't got no pamper money. I ain't got no milk, no feeding money. I ain't got no baby food money. Hell, I don't even have the rent. Really? You don't? No, I don't. Double up. If you don't have the rent for this month, how you gonna double up for next month? Make it make sense. So that was the outside problems. You know what the inside problems were? Me having to fight myself to do this stuff every damn day. And that's where the problems really came in because I got damn nearly lost that thing that makes me me, that thing that keeps pushing me. I say it's determination. It's a light. It's something that just keeps pushing me to keep going and going. I was so tired and broken down after a while that I almost just decided to throw my hands up and be like, we just got to go on welfare, SNAP, and whatever else we got to go on. I can't keep living like this, right? That still wouldn't have paid the rent. We got to find a Section 8, whatever. We got to do something. But as God would have it, it didn't come to that. You know, I was still a job. This one paid. It was armed. It was the armored car driver. But when they told me the route, now if you know the DMV area and you know DC, they wanted me to start at 5 in the morning in Southwest DC. Back then, that was a war zone, man. Ain't nobody going to Southwest DC back then. Not no 5 in the morning. when it's still dark out. Who gonna do that? I'm not. So then they wanted me, okay, from Southeast DC, they wanted me to go to Green Street, is in Baltimore, y'all, over there by Central Booking. I'm not going over there. And then they want me to finish up in Park Heights. Yeah, the same Park Heights where the guy got his shot in the head. No, I don't think that. I don't think so. They were gonna rush me through to get my gun license. Well, I explained to them that, yeah, at that time I didn't have anything major on my record. At that, yes, I did. I had, what did I have on my record? It doesn't matter, but it wasn't a felony. But anyway, same thing. They where I had to go every day, and it was a 50-50 chance that I would come back every time I went. If I slipped up one time, that could have been my life. 'Cause those are rough areas back then and now. I don't care how much gentrification has gone on since I left. It's still, once if it was dark, I had no business over there, especially at 5 in the morning. You know, outside problems, man, outside problems, and those interferes, and you know, make you want to just rethink your whole, like. If I had a time machine, this wouldn't be happening. That's what condoms are for. But what husband and wife wear condoms? This one would. Shit, I can't afford it. So we kept complaining about the apartment because there was 5 of us in there, 4 kids. I can't count. 6 of us, 4 kids, and a mother and a father. Right, man. I said no, this ain't gonna work. So I went to church, prayed on it, went up to the altar, had this doubting ass deacon. I'm I went up to the altar to pray, and it's like, Brother Troy, how could I help? How could I help you today? He said, I said, well, we're struggling in that apartment, deacon. I'm gonna pray to the Lord for a 4 bedroom house, man. We need it. We got to have it. You know, 3 stories and everything. He looked at me, and said, I'm in real estate, right? I thought he was gonna give me some good word. Bama said to me, that's very expensive nowadays, right, Brother Graham? And you got to understand, this was in 2006. He's running his mouth to me like this, 19 years ago. So I looked at him with the coat. I was like, for real? He's like, hold on now. I know you getting a little. I can see you getting upset. I didn't say anything. I just looked at him like, what kind of damn church is this with a doubting ass deacon? What's going on? So he said, look, this is what I could do for you. I'm gonna pray for you. But sometimes you have to be realistic. So I'm in real estate. I'm gonna give you some of my cards. I want you to hand them out. And for everybody that calls me and comes in to see me, they don't even have to get a house. They just come in to see me and pass my name on to others. I'm gonna give you $100. That dude gave me about 10 cards, and from those, he gave me about 20. Honestly, let me not lie. I passed out every single one of them damn cards, but I was selective. He said out of the 25 people called, he rolled up on me and put $500 in my hand. He don't even know how much that meant because I was short on the rent yet again. By how much? 600. He gave me 5. So he said, like, how you pay the rent? Brother of mine, life brother of mine, pulled up on me. I'm gonna get him on the show too. He pulled up on me and he said, "Look, brother, what kind of man sleep?" I fell asleep in front of my building. That's how tired I was. I was sleeping on concrete, right? And it was like early, and he was like, "I've been through a lot of things in life. I've been to jail. I've been to prison. I've been a lot of things, brother. But what kind of dude sleeps so peacefully on concrete? What's wrong with you? What's going on, man?" So I spoke. I broke it down to the brother. Brother put some money in the paper bag, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not taking no for an answer. Just take it." I'm like, We had this conversation before. I'm like, yeah, last time I let you not take it. This time you gonna take it. It don't matter how it came about. It as you will. So he left the bag and just rolled out. He said, that's your problem, is your damn pride. That's why you sleeping on the damn concrete. Okay, and he drove off. I was like, okay, I want to say brother gave me $1,000. I told you I was short on the rent by six, and the other brother gave me five. Now I have 1,000. That's the rent. That's some extra pampers and some money I could put there. See, something in you. If you let all them outside problems let you quit, you'll have to work 2 to 3 times as hard to start all over again. So I never quit ever. Now I'm a human damn being. I quit in segments. I'll be like, man, I ain't going to work. I'm too damn tired. My legs hurt. I can't see straight. I'm frustrated. Anybody say something to me. All the while I'm walking the raw farms. Slow. Just real. Because really, it was less than five. If I'm in building 10, raw farms was right over there by building 6. So how far did I have to walk? Talking mad shit, Nick. I got in there and I was not my pleasant self. And it was Halloween. I was like, man, I don't want to be here with these freaks. But it worked out. That inner voice in you that tells you, go ahead, quit, get away. You'd be all right. Hey, go over to your grandmother's house, chill out. You'll be good. Actually, she was gone by then. Like, go over to your boy house. You'll be all right. Go. Actually, he was gone by then. Go over to your mom's house. Wait, she moved to North Carolina. Whoops. Go to your auntie house. She lived an hour away from me in a much more expensive county. I can't. She ain't gonna let me live up under her for free. So I had to straighten that back up, find that strength in me, and said, I feel like going on. Eddie Kane Jr., boy. I feel like going on. So I just kept going on, you know? Well, I had a smile on my face and now it was doubtful, but I kept keeping on. I didn't let that stuff inside of me, that doubt, that too damn tired, that basically all around disappointment break my spirit. Because once I quit, whether you believe it or not, once you quit, what are you gonna tell your kids when they want to drop out of school or they want to quit at something? Oh no, you can't. But wait, you did. You left us for a long time. Well, you had to bring that up. I mean, shit, I'm still your father. Well, you weren't for all them years. You came back when we were teenagers. I never did that. I'm just saying that's what you're gonna. So I said, instead of me hearing that nonsense, I need to stick and stay. So I stuck it out, man. That's them outside problems. They were they seem so minor. And like they said, excuse me, that God works in mysterious ways. So I kept saying I need to get a house. I need to get a house. Everybody, there's 6 people in a two-bedroom. We can't get done here. Even though, you know, 2 of my kids slept in the playpen, one of them slept in the crib. The oldest one, she had a room by herself. Yeah. So I said, God, man, I need a house. Help me. I need a house. I need to go get a house, because I can't keep coming home like this. Dirty clothes over here and stuff. It's just the rent is always if 50-50 that I'm gonna have it till she get better and she can start working. I can't keep doing this, man. I'm supposed to be the man in the house. Got to produce, help me. So a few months after that, hanging out with my friends, one of my friends was telling me, yeah, a friend of ours just got a Habitat house. I'm like, I don't know what that is, man. There's a program called Habitat for Humanity. I'm like, what, Section 8? It's like, nah, it ain't Section 8. It's your house. You got to do X amount of hours. I'm like, hours? What are you talking about? Public service hours. You got to put hours in. They might have you working on the house. They might have you going out to speak at a church about that to do that. So I didn't. What he didn't tell me was how to find out how to hook up with Habitat. He said, but I'll tell you where the lady goes, who the lady is. Come to find out, she went to my cousin's church. Where did I go next Sunday? Your daggone right, to my cousin's church. And who was there? The lady I needed to speak to. I said, how you doing? She said, hey, long time no see. I said, you're right. Come talk to me real quick. I guess she thought I was flirting with her. But I said, congratulations. Can you please tell me how to get on the program? And she directed me on what to do. Next day, I put purpose to movement, purpose to movement. That's right, purpose. I purposefully moved. I called Habitat. They said this and this and this is what you have to bring in. I said cool. I brought it all in, right? She was like, "Do you have a record?" I said, "I have something on my record." She said, "Well, has anything to do with children, rape or theft?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." Okay, cool, cool. So she said, "Okay, you got through, but we need your wife's information." I said, well, "She's not working right now." They said, "That's okay. Just bring it." You know, and she never had a record. So I brought everybody's information in. She came with me. And a few weeks later, they called and said, okay, you got approved for a house. It's in an area that's urban. We're going through an urban renewal, meaning it's not that best. I said, well, show me where it's going to be. And the first house they showed me, I said, right, I'll take it. It was a 5 bedroom house, which was all developed and so forth already. Big ass yard, fence, garage. I said, how much is the mortgage? I said, rent. I said, how much your rent gonna be? She said, no, no, no. You gotta get out of that mindset. This is a mortgage. This is yours. This is a house. I said, they told me my rent was gonna be my mortgage was gonna be $500. I said, for this? He said, yeah, it's Habitat. It's works on something. Oh. And then they called me back with the bad news. There's a lady who has a family of 6, and she needs that house more than you because she's getting abused and she needs to get away from her husband, and she's putting in her hours right now, her and the kids and her brother. So I said, so how much longer we got to wait now? Because it's rough. And so she said, just wait. I'll give you a call back tomorrow, right? So she didn't call me back for 3 days. So I called her. She's like, I was just about to call you. I found you another house. Is more or less to see the first house. This one was city side, right? So I was like, all right, let's go look at it. So I went to look at it. It's what's called. It used to be a two-sided apart one house that was split down the middle into 2 apartments. So what they did was they knocked that wall down and separated it and made it into one big house. Had 4 bedrooms, 3 stories, a whole basement that needed to be finished, a nice big backyard, washer and dryer, dishwasher, 1.5 bath. It was beautiful. Three bedrooms upstairs. They had a big one, medium sized one, and a small one. And they had the master bedroom, which was downstairs. Oh man. I said, okay, what we got? But when you walked down it, all you saw was sand on one half of it. So there was a lot of work to get done. They said, well, it's going to take a couple of months to rehab this because they have actual contractors that come in and do the work. You volunteer with the contractors and they tell you what to do. You don't just have to do it because I don't know nothing about building no house off the top of my head, but I learned a lot. So I go in there first day I volunteered, I just got off work at 6 a.m. I had to be to the habitat site at 8 a.m. 7:30 to meet up with the crew, and then 8 a.m. we get started. So I ain't getting too much of nothing on the side of sleep. So, and this is all on the weekends always, never a weekend off. So I go there. They take us down the street to another house that we were rehabbing. They said, "Be careful, and the roof might cave in, and da 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 da. We'll get you out before then." So they told us what we had to do was knock the tub out, take out the sink, all of that. So they gave us some hammers and just said, just break the tub up, break the sink up. Be careful with the. We turned off the water already and all that, so you ain't got to worry about that. And so I had it was still winter time at the time when we started doing the hours. And I had on my big coat, and I had layers underneath. And so I'm tearing down, knocking at the damn tub. I fall asleep, right? Next thing you know, what they warned us about, they said the roof caving in. Everybody jumped up. They're like, Troy, huh? All I saw was the roof coming down, so I just bent over and prayed to the Lord. And like, don't, don't kill me. It's my first day. The roof broke over. Part of the roof broke off my back thanks to that big coat and all the layers I was wearing. And I just brushed it off and walked out. They said, "You need to get some sleep." I said, "If I gotta do my hours, I gotta put my hours in. Go sleep for a little bit in your van." And well, a couple of the volunteers said, "Look, you can't be here not sleeping, and not that you didn't get any sleep. Go sleep in your van, and we'll give you our hours." Because they were just people who volunteered. They already had homes. So at the end of the day, I ended up getting 80 hours. You need a total of 450 if you're a married couple. So I got 80. And see, all the problems I talked about that were inside of me, the fears and just being outright miserable because I wasn't financially where I need to be and times were tough. What if I would have quit? We would have never got our house. Never got the house. If I would have quit, my family would have never got the house. We would have still been paying all that money to be miserable in that damn apartment. $1,100 for rent, $500 for mortgage. Hmm? What if I would have quit and said, "Man, I've had enough. I'm gone." But let that part of the story slide and probably finish it up another time, right? So, long story short, is we got the house. Everybody, uh, two of my sons slept in the big room that with a bunk bed. Their sister slept in the middle room, and the little one, he had a room to himself, but he slept in the room with his brothers on the bottom bunk with his brother until he got older. Then he went into his own room and chilled out, And me and the wife slept downstairs. And wow. And then the whole plan was she said she really didn't want to go back to work, but she wanted to do her 90 hours and open up a daycare. And she showed me how much she went online and saw what she had to do. Said her mom would be volunteering, so she'd be doing 90 hours. And with just 10 kids, you go Google that. See how much you could make working a daycare out your house once you get to 90 hours, you get your licenses and all that stuff. See how much you could charge per kid. As long as you have the right setup and you gotta go through inspection and all that stuff. Look how much you get because as long as you have two people for 10 kids, that's 5 children per person. So that's all you need, right? You don't want to go over that with only two people, and you don't want too many people. So just two. Look how much money that is, and this was back in early 2000s. Imagine how much people charge now for daycare, right? So yeah, so don't. The moral to the story is this: don't let side problems become louder than what motivates you, or you don't let Don't let your that inner doubt, that voice that's in you say to you, you don't need to do this. You don't have to do this. You can walk away. You can quit. Because the minute you stop moving, the minute you stop giving a damn, the minute you stop walking on your path, guess what? You stop walking on that path with everything miles seems so far away, but then you turn around and then you don't even realize that you only a couple of steps away from the door. It just looks far away because you've been walking for so long, and fatigue and fatigue and the fact that you're just downright miserable at the time and you're doubting yourself make things seem further away. Like side view mirror of a car. Things are closer than what they seem. You're right. This is closer than what it seems. So don't give up. Don't give up at all. Don't give up. Just keep pushing and keep taking that walk. I don't care how many times you fell on your face. Lazarus fell how many times? Go check him out in the Bible. Job in the Bible. Look at all the trials he had to go through. Right? Came back. I know a boxer, a female boxer, Melissa Odessa Parker, right? She came out in key and she was telling us how she was out of boxing for like 2, 3 years. Both her Achilles got messed up, both of them, and she couldn't even walk at one point, and she had to start from scratch. And I remember calling her Job. I said that to her. I said, "I'm gonna call you Job. You went through so much. You know she's a world champion now. See, look at that. She had to take off 3 years. Couldn't box. Couldn't do nothing actually. Back all that stiffness from not using your muscles. She had to go through that before she could do anything. Go check out Melissa Odessa Parker. So, and then don't listen to the doubters that are outside ether. Because the closest people to you will tell you, you don't listen, you can't do that. Says who? You listen, it's not what you drive, it's what drives you. Okay? The point where you can afford what you want to drive, then buy it. But for right now, it's what drives you so you can get to that point. And it's always remember that. You know, you're the source of your own happiness. No one else is. And if you're happy and if you're motivated, guess what's going to happen to your children when they get down and they get tired as they get older, or they want to go do something they know they have no business doing with a friend or family member? They're going to hear your voice and they're going to remember your works. Came home and just threw yourself on the couch, and they're gonna watch you get up in the morning, wash up, brush your teeth, get something to eat and drink, and then run out the house every day after day after. They're gonna remember that you came to their games. They're gonna remember that you bought the cupcakes for their school function and had to leave right back out. They're gonna remember you bringing coming have to drive back from culinary school just in time to pick them up from school. They're gonna remember all of that factor. You. So if you can't motivate yourself, how you gonna motivate your children? How? Yeah, ponder that for a little bit. Because when you think they're not looking, that's when they're looking the most. That's when they see you the most. Like I got my eyes on you. They got their eyes on you, Slim. They got their eyes on you. They're watching you. They're listening to you. They're not just listening, you know, listening. Like just quick word before I decide to shut it down. Let It Go. Looks like another podcast, TK. Oh, ooh, that was whack. But I like the way it sounds. Imagine, I'm gonna tell you a story that I read. I remember the purpose of the story. So there was a female swimmer, male or female? It was a female swimmer. She wanted to swim from, I think, Manhattan all the way to Canada, right? So she started out on her way from Manhattan and was swimming to Canada. Of course, she had somebody behind her, a boat and all that for her, for her own safety and all that. So halfway through, tired, tired, her arms started to get heavy, but she pushed on through. She pushed, pushed for like another hour. And she was like, if I don't get there in an hour, I'm not, I'm not gonna make it. Then, damn it, just like 20 minutes into her swim, damn jelly bees, not jelly bees, jellyfish start stinging her. She had to shake them off, shake them off. And she swam for a little bit more, and then it started getting cloudy. It looked like a storm was coming. And she was like, I can't do no more. But she said, I'm gonna try. A few more strokes, and she used a flashlight or whatever she had and called in the boat and said she's done all she could do. She put her hours in. She tried so hard to make it to Canada, but she couldn't do it. And she couldn't really see in front of her because it was crowded. So as she was turning around and the clouds cleared, guess what? She was a few the shore of Canada. She was like, damn, I'm coming back next year and nothing's gonna stop me. So she came back next year. And only this time there was a storm brewing. I mean, a storm. And everybody, her team was like, we shouldn't go. The sky was dark and the waters were a little rough. So she's like, I'm going to go anyway. And she started. She was fighting the elements and fighting the waves. Okay, I feel good. I'm stronger now. She's swimming and she's just pushing and pushing and pushing. And just around the same time, she started to feel that heaviness in her legs. But she learned how to meditate for a whole year. So she put herself in a she put herself in a place of bliss or happiness, and that gave her the extra push, the extra strength. Then her arms got tired, and she said, "I'm not leaving out this place of bliss." She just kept on going, kept on going. Then them dug in, and she had to shake them off. She was in pain, and her limbs were stiffening up. And she wanted to run out that happy place and just go. She's like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. But she's and that voice in her head said, if you quit this time, I'll kick your ass. I'll kick your ass if you quit this time. You quit last time, and look what it cost us. If you quit this time, I'm gonna kick your ass. So she said, all right, I'm too afraid of you. I'm gonna keep going, talking to herself. That she said, I'm going, and just and she said, my body's about to give out. I can't do no more. I can't do no more. She reached out and she was on the shore of Canada and she just swam. She saw it and she swam to it and she got up on shore. She got up on shore some more, got up on shore some more, and she passed out. And she's in history. I think that's one of the longest non-stop swims in history. I wish I could tell. I don't remember if it was a man or a woman, but go Google it. And that story is my motivating factor. I have another one to share with you, but not today, right? So just when you think you're at the end of the rope, that's when God's gonna give you one of your greatest rewards. Just don't stop, because if you can't. I mean, listen. once you become a father, you no longer just live for you. You don't even breathe for you. You don't even flush the toilet for you. You because of what's coming because of them. They see you, they feel you, they love you, and they want to be like you. Okay, even in your worst times, show that strong front. Fake it until you make it. Take it until you break it, not till it breaks you, till you break it. Whether you gotta break from that job and get a career, get a business, where you have to go up to the school. You go up there with your back strong and a positive attitude. Whether your kids are bugging you, they bugging out, acting wild, giving you dirty looks and acting like a child. But you gotta go through it, baby, because they need you. They need you, and you need them. During those times, you need them, and they need you. Indeed. I don't know what else to tell you. I failed, like I said, this platform on my podcast here. I was a master failure. I failed so many times. I was a success at failing. How do you become a success at failing? Because you do it so many times. Until the point where I said to myself, success has got to be on the way. And it took a long time. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. But on a strong, on a strong vision to step to. Tell me how many, how much pain. Times up. Sorry I kept you, but you found the strength that you wept through, the pain and the hurt you wept through, but it didn't keep you. You had the strength inside to defeat it, and that's why you didn't quit. Oh, bless his name. That's right. That was a completely messed up rhyme. I can do better than that, and I will. But look, I'm going to share a few more minutes with you and say I appreciate everyone that's seeing this, that's listening to this, and all over the world, right? Boys and girls and gentlemen, fathers, mothers, and grandmothers, and fathers and uncles, the most electrifying. Your mother's father's uncle on your daddy's side. Tell old Solo I said that. The most electrifying is your uncle on your father's, daddy's, auntie's side of the family. There's really no sense when you put it like that, but hey, you it works. It works. So look, how did that brother put it? How did he put it? He said, it's you take seven MCs, put them in a row. It'll take seven more brothers before I could flow. You could get seven more brothers in line before I go for mine. And da 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 da. I messed that up. Rakim's gonna come beat me. He's gonna come beat me up, man. Knock me out or something. How does it go, y'all? Help me out. I want to end the show with that. You take seven MCs, put them in a line. It'll take seven more brothers before I go for mine. And it'll take seven more before I and get seven. Put seven MCs, put them in a line. Get get seven more. I'm just gonna make something up because I don't remember the brother's words. No, that's an insult. How about this? Nonsense violence, not a good policy. Fighting and bugging. Having on the rules, there'll be no bum rushing. I heard a brother kill. I heard a brother shot another. It broke my heart. I don't understand the difficulty, people. Love your brother. Treat him like an equal. They say we animals. I don't agree with them. You prove them wrong. But right is what you. I say they wrong, but right is what you're proving them. Yeah, yeah. But bless up everyone. I messed up. I should have studied more. I should have studied more. I messed up those two raps I want to close with. But look, that strength to go through it when everything around you is falling apart. You got to be that cornerstone that the builder refused, and you holding your foundation block. Let's put it like that. Without you, the whole foundation falls apart. Let's leave it on that. All right, bless up everyone.